Hey everybody, Toby Potter here. Hey everybody, Toby Potter here, the Unshakable Investor, here with my good friend Chandler Coker. Chandler, we're going to talk about this event coming up on February 12th at the Allen Event Center, wherever we're having it at. This event is going to be epic. We've got about 12 or 14 speakers, but more importantly, we have you coming in to do a workshop, a breakout session, to help people fully understand how they can feel better, have a better fulfillment in life, and really impact their health without a ton of drugs.
Yeah.
Does that sum it up pretty good?
Yeah.
So I don't want to steal your story, but tell us a little bit about your platform and what you're doing to transform lives.
Absolutely. So essentially my platform is we're going to focus on the foundations of health. I want to strip you down to the bare minimum. I want to focus on what really causes the biggest outcomes, the biggest rate of return. So just focusing on everybody's health to fight fatigue, fight tiredness. You know, everybody struggles with fatigue, low energy, mood imbalance,
Brain fog.
body composition, brain fog. All these things are so common in today's society, especially for people who are going to come to this workshop, busy entrepreneurs. Guys who are working their tail off day and night to achieve an outcome, but the problem is they don't know how to best support their body to achieve that. Their brain knows, I got to work, but their body is stressed out. So now I want to help them. Let's de-stress that body so that brain can work even better.
Because, and I don't mean to cut you off, but you hit it right on the head. The harder I work, the more stressed I get.
Absolutely.
And if I'm not healthy, that stress turns into a disease.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to show them where that broken link is in their diet, in their chemistries, and rebalance that so that the stress is minimized and the illness is kicked out the door.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you said strip them down, and you said something else about, so how do you do that to make sure you're diagnosing correctly?
So what I like to do is anytime I work with somebody, we meet one-on-one. We do a pretty extensive one-on-one call, and I like to get to know them. I like to get to know what they do for work, what they do outside of work, what their lifestyle habits like, and I mean, you can go into where they grew up, what did they grow up around. All these things help shape our biology, help shape who we are internally. And from there, we can start picking out different symptoms. Well, what do you struggle with? Do you struggle with brain fog? Do you struggle with excessive fatigue? I mean, do you hit every day at noon, you just crash? And now you're taking in excessive caffeine and different stimulants to keep going.
Monster drinks.
Exactly, yeah. And, you know, we start breaking that down, see what symptoms we're struggling with, and then we can start layering those symptoms. Some people may struggle with more aggressive symptoms that have now turned into autoimmune disease, different things like that. But we trace those symptoms back to the root cause. Right. Symptoms are never the problem. They're never the cause of the problem, but they're what we feel. So
they're a byproduct.
They're a byproduct of the problem. So we trace those symptoms back, start identifying root cause, and then try to start addressing that root cause through diet, lifestyle choices. Some certain supplementation may support that body's natural ability to reshape back into a healthy environment. And once we can reshape that healthy environment, we now start getting rid of the brain fog, the moods, the fatigue, you know, all of that stuff. And then that way people can start feeling better to that brain just starts firing. Now you hit that noon and you don't need that monster. Right. Your brain's just firing on all cylinders. You feel good, you feel motivated, and you're ready to go.
I can tell you, I'm a true testimony. Chandler started work with me about 90 days ago. Don't judge this. This is just because of me on the weights, not doing what he told me to do. But the brain fog, the afternoon crash, I'm sub 60 in age. But that was the biggest fight I had. Running this business, being the coach, being a mentor, the brain fog and the afternoon crash was the hardest. And I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I was doing 3 to 5 monsters a day. In fact, I went to Ghost because they were sugar-free and still tasted good, but I was only worsening my body. I went to Chandler and said, I can't continue this because it's not healthy, it's not productive, and I'm not resolving. And so he put me on a regimen. I had to give him a list of my diet. He said, take this out. Basically, he said, take it all out. You're eating the wrong things, and you're not going to ever fix the problem. I had joint pain. I had just every symptom you can imagine of somebody who started wrestling at the age of 10, wrestled into college, have worked as an entrepreneur my whole life. Stress was to the max. And so my body, and I knew that if I didn't change, I knew where my destiny was going to be. I came to you, you told me, throw all that crap away, do this, this. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, I have zero brain fog. I cannot stand the taste of a Ghost or Monster drink. I have zero sugar, and I was that guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet tea was my heroin. I mean, I literally, you did not want to be around me without a sweet tea in my belly, first thing in the morning. I cannot stand the taste of sweet tea today. I've cured all that, and I am in better shape now than I was when I was 25, and I owe it all to this guy. I do. I hate to say this, but he's my son-in-law too,
Yeah.
and so I can't give him too much kudos, but I will tell you, it works. It is an absolute truth in case study and proof of concept. And so, let me ask you, why did you get on this platform? What caused you to wake up one day and say, this is what I want to do?
So when I was in high school, I was in every sport I could possibly be in. I loved sports. I loved the just competitiveness, always trying to chase to be better. Had a great work ethic. But you know, when you're in high school, you don't understand the intricacies of how to actually get better. And you know, back to your sweet tea point, I remember I had a job in high school. I worked at a fast food shop. They made phenomenal sweet tea. I was the one that made it, so I put a lot of sugar in there. You know, it's funny. So I would drink sweet tea every time I had a shift. Well, then my basketball tournaments on Saturdays, I was out of shape. I was like, why am I getting out of shape? And so then you start learning a little bit about health. And like, oh, okay, maybe I need to cut off the sweet tea. Maybe these sodas aren't the best for me. But where the pivotal moment really happened was right when I was finishing high school. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, ulcerative colitis at the time, and it's an autoimmune disease that affects your digestive tract. Big, you know, excessive weight loss, fatigue. My body's not producing or breaking down food properly and absorbing food properly, and so it just caused a lot of issues. And at the time, they give you medicine to be on and send you on your way, and that's it. And you know, I'm 18 at the time, and I was going to play college basketball. I still cared how much about, I still got to perform well. I still have to be a good basketball player. I still have to be a college student, all this and that. And it slowly set me on the path of, well, this can't be the end all be all. I have to go out there and find the answers for myself. And it's changed a lot. What I believed 10 years ago about health is not necessarily what I believe now. It's an ever-evolving thing, but it's something I decided and purposed myself to study. And as I've grown, I've just learned what things work, what things don't work. And I was on biologics for 10 years. And for those that don't know about biologics, they suppress your immune system. So basically, they stop your immune system from affecting your body, but now you don't have an immune system. So I mean, you'll remember, I was constantly sick. I remember one winter, and I was at your house a lot. I had strep throat probably 4 times. It's like I would get better for 2 weeks, and then have a 2-week relapse. And I was constantly sick, and I said, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done fighting this. There has to be something else. At the time, I think I was probably 25, maybe 25. I have a whole life ahead of me.
And you weighed like 140?
Yeah, I weighed 150 pounds, and I was, you know, very underweight, could not process food, always sick. I love to work out. I'm very active. But the problem is I would get a good week of exercise and then have to take 2 weeks off because I'm sick.
I remember that.
And so
you were the scrawniest, peeniest, sickest guy I knew.
He loves to rub it in my face. But, you know, I finally realized I can't do this anymore. So I got off a biologic, and then I relapsed a little bit with my ulcerative colitis, ended up getting diagnosed with Crohn's. And I'm like, well, I have to fix this problem now. I stopped getting sick all the time, but now I'm sick in a different way. So I dove headfirst into how do I fix this? And so I studied, I did some mentorships, I did everything I could to realize okay, well, these are the symptoms, but what's the root cause?
What's causing it?
And so I dove really deep into that, and everybody may have similar symptoms, but different root causes.
Right. Different allergies.
Different allergies, different, we both may be diagnosed with Crohn's disease, for example, but something may bother you that doesn't bother me.
Right.
And so that's a big thing for me coaching now is, let's figure out what affects you.
I mean, you had food allergies you had no clue of.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you're like, tomatoes, right?
Tomatoes was a big one.
Corn.
Yeah.
There were certain foods that we all eat as, hey, it's a vegetable.
Yeah,
how can that be bad for you?
Yeah.
But it affected your body to a way that you could never get well because of that infection or whatever was causing you.
And it's crazy when I cut that out, and then if I ever reintroduce it, I eat it, and then within 30 minutes or an hour, my joints swell, I ache.
Wow.
You start to realize, oh, this is how I used to feel on a daily basis.
Every day.
Once you start feeling good,
Yeah.
you realize how bad you felt.
Right.
And that's, I think, what a lot of people don't realize is they don't realize how bad they feel because they haven't felt good in so long.
They don't know any different.
Exactly.
Right. And one of the things that was so impressive was the food allergy that you discovered and went into that study. And I'll guarantee it, there's a lot of people listening to this and that's going to be at this event has no clue
Yeah,
about food allergies.
absolutely.
When we think of food allergies, we think of peanut allergies. We think of things that are immediate reaction to that we can like swelling or rashes or stuff like that. But your food allergies was jacking with your digestive system that nobody knew what was causing it.
Yep.
And you were able to dig deep into that to find it and remove it and heal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this had to resonate with you. Whether with you personally or you know somebody that's tired all the time, brain fog, has that 2 o'clock crash after lunch, or just can't lose weight no matter what they do, I can promise you, this gentleman can help you figure it out and get you on the path, because we all want the absolute best in our lives, and we want the absolute best for our loved ones. And when I have watched them now for 5 years transform from being sick all the time, having all these issues, not able to get, and the guy working out 24/7 then, couldn't put a muscle on to save his life. But once he fixed all that, he's now running marathons, he's doing Ironman, he's living the best life for himself, for his wife, and for his kids. And that's what we all want. So, Chandler, I'm proud to have you at our event in February. Show up, come to the event, go to the link below, get registered, just to come hear this gentleman into his breakout session so that he can help you have a better fulfillment in life. This is Toby Potter, the Unshakable Investor. I'll see you 1 week from today